It's party time, Mom. Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. Thursday night off the rails. The Puppet Master Mark and Super Chris Cruz driving us into the nether regions of all things insanity, steering this mothership deftly, adequately, and expertly into the craziness of our world. Studio 22 is alive and well. We are rocking and rolling here on a Thursday night. Hope you're looking forward to a good weekend. Have you subscribed to the new Overtime? Dadgummit, people, do this thing with me. Come on! We're working hard every Friday, laboriously and with love, painstakingly. I give you the nuggets of wisdom from my 49 austere years on this planet. And I want you to subscribe. blazetv.com/Chad. New promo code, just Chad, C-H-A-D. I spell it Chad. You will get $10 off. The $10 off? $10 off of your Blaze subscription. Now, what you do is you go into Blaze TV. You look for the Chad Prather Show. When you click on that, it's going to give you the list of episodes. You're going to find Overtime. You're going to watch it. I suggest you go back to the beginning. At least go back the last 3 weeks when I will help you identify everything wrong with your life and how to fix it. True. I want you to go and do it, okay? Use promo code Chad. But it's not a standalone show. So you have to go into the Chad Prather Show, then you'll click it, and it'll say Chad. Or Overtime, and then bam, there it is. There's Chad. I don't know what I'm saying. WatchChad.com is where all the fun stuff is. Got shows coming up. We're listing the links to them. Going to be all over Texas. Going to be in Arkansas. Going to be in Oklahoma. And we're not venturing too far out just yet. I'm just not on the plane thing. Now, it's amazing to me, and I don't know what we have here, Chris. I don't know if we have any clips of the people on the airplanes. But, earlier this week, a federal judge, who was a Trump-appointed judge, by the way, who said that they were going to knock down these Biden mask mandates for air travel and in various public places. Pretty good videos came out of all of this. Let's play one of those clips. Let's play both of them, but let's play them one at a time, Chris. Of course. Do it.
April 18th, the Biden administration announced that the Transportation Security Administration will no longer enforce the federal mandate requiring masks in all U.S. airports and on-board aircraft.
Finally!
Effective immediately, masks are optional for all airport employees, crew members, and customers inside U.S. airports and on-board aircraft.
Now, they're going to spin this. And then what they're going to do is Biden's going to come out and say because of his policies, they were able to curb COVID and all of this kind of stuff. But even Jen Psaki, White House press secretary, has come out and said this was a bad idea, should have happened. Let's play that clip.
Remember, the masking guidance is green, yellow, and red. We are currently in a green zone in Washington, D.C., so they're not recommending it. Some people can still wear a mask if they want to. Many people do, or wear them in meetings, or wear them at certain times where you're going to be around or sitting close to people, or maybe you have an immunocompromised parent or friend.
Would the president support if a flight is leaving from an airport in a green zone, those people don't have to wear masks?
Again, Peter, there's been long difference from the beginning about people on an airplane and in federal transportation vehicles and situations than where they are in locations. Like we here continue to be in Washington, D.C., a green zone. But what we'd asked for, I think it's important to remember, is a 2-week extension, or not asked for, what we had announced was a 2-week extension to look at the data and make recommendations based on the data and the science about whether it should be continued or not.
I want to make a very astute observation here. You could tell she's about to go to MSNBC by the way she's using her hands now. Yes. She's never done that before. They're coaching her on how to be on TV now. Yep. Not just to be a press secretary, because normally she's playing with her hair and she's looking at her notebook and all. Now they're teaching her how to be demonstrative, use her hands in describing things, so she's being more animated. You notice that? Yeah, see, that's not the same Jen Psaki. They're coaching her now for television, so she'll make her $10-20 million a year. And thank God for the national treasure. That is that son of a bitch named Peter Doocy, consistently calling her out. Now, they're going to eventually they're going to say, well, this is because of, the success of the Biden stuff and all that, blah, blah, blah. It's a green zone in Washington, D.C. You can even hear what she's saying right there with all of her demonstrative hand gestures. At least she's keeping it out of her hair. But I'm pissed. I'm still pissed off because there's just no satisfying me at this point in time. Because here's the thing. You took 2 years of our life. You took 2 years of our lives. You masked us up, masked our children, put our kids behind plexiglass. You put us through all these extra rigors in order just to get on a stupid airplane, which has some of the cleanest filtered air on the planet. And you did this stuff to us. You abused the people of the world. You did. You just did. You abused people. You put on a face diaper. You did all these things, and now you're just going to cancel the mandates and be like, okay, everything's going to go back to normal. It's not going to go back to normal because now you got people. You got celebrities on Twitter. Patricia Arquette, who says, "I'm going to still wear a mask on an airplane." Well, nobody gives a shit. You want to wear a mask? Do it. You don't have to announce it to the world. You know what? Wear one for me too. So put 2 on. Put all the masks on that you want to wear. I mean, literally no one cares if you continue in your cult behavior. You can stay in the cult. Nobody's trying to convert you out of it. You want to wear the mask makes you feel safe. Even Jen Psaki, with all of her hand motions and her gyrations, wants to remind you that if you are with a family member that is immunocompromised, you could do the same thing that people have done throughout human history, and that is be a little more careful around them. But you know what? You heard those screams and people saying, finally, whenever that pilot comes out there, gets on the microphone and says, you don't have to wear the mask anymore. Mid-flight, it happened all over the place. People were excited because they've been muzzled. Why have they been muzzled? They've been muzzled over a mandate. You know, those mandates piss me off. They're unconstitutional. They were ungodly. Because of mask mandates, I went through 19 months of the hardest shit I've ever done in my life with that campaign, running for governor. And it was all because of mandates. That's what prompted me. That is what pushed me over the edge, pissed me off, and said, you know what, I'm going to do what I got to do in order to speak out against this stuff. So now it's dropped. Now they're just supposedly going to drop it. Well, how long are they going to drop it? Because Philadelphia brought back masks. They're masking everybody up in a public place. Wait till mid-September when COVID's going to come back in full force. So they got a November midterm election coming, and they're going to make sure that mail-in ballots are what's happening. So they're going to keep coming back. So it's going to keep happening. They've already seen they can control you with fear. So just dropping the mandate ain't enough. I need you to repent. I need everybody. I need Donald Trump to repent. I need Joe Biden to repent. I need Anthony Fauci to go to hell, but I need him to repent. I need everybody, Dr. Birx, wherever that trick's been hiding. Remember her? I need everybody that was involved to come out and repent. You did nothing. Masks did nothing. You know what pissed me off? Speaking of things pissed me off. Before we started this show, I had somebody that was coming at me on social media like they do, and I posted a New York Post thing about Patrice Cullors, and they would not let me post it on Facebook. They said that this headline and post goes against community standards. A New York Post headline about Patrice Cullors saying that she spent $3.2 million on houses with BLM money while the burning and the rioting and the looting was going on. And Facebook said this goes against community standards. What? See, this is the nonsense I'm talking about. And it's all connected because it's all about control. They want to control what you communicate. They want to control there's nothing going against community standards. A New York Post headline, for crying out loud. What are we talking about? You know, you want to talk about mandates for masks. You want to talk about censorship by big tech and social media. You want to talk about quarantines, lockdowns, shutdowns, deeming you and your business as non-essential. And then you want to just brush it under the rug like it never happened. The last 2 years were shit. They were garbage. We came into this studio, me, Sarah, Stu, Mark came in, Chris came in. Chris, did you even come in? You weren't allowed. For the longest time, though, it was just us. We were the only 3 hosts that were here. Me, Sarah, and Stu. They don't care about us. We're expendable. Stu was having to co-host and executive produce Glenn's show. Glenn wasn't even here. We came in. We came out and faced the black death of COVID to get into the studio to communicate with you people. I'm not going to forget it. Y'all put us through hell. The government shut us down. The state and the federal government shut us down, told us what we could and couldn't do, who we could be close to, who we could be around. Couldn't go to funerals, couldn't go to church, couldn't go to weddings. They shut down the state of Texas on Holy Week of 2020, Easter week. They shut it down. Said you couldn't go to church. Greg Abbott decided on the holiest week of the year in the Christian calendar to shut down churches. And people were arrested for not wearing a mask in a church in Dallas, Texas. And you want us just to forget it. Oh, look. Oh, we're all about it. I'm all about it. I hadn't been wearing the mask anyway. And let me just tell you, we're not going to forget it because we're not going to deal with this kind of tyranny. And that's exactly what it was. Unilateral dictatorial decisions handed down by bureaucrats and appointees who said, this is what we're going to do. So you're going to sit there and tell me the CDC, which can't decide if they're supposed to roll the toilet paper over or under or wipe their ass standing up or sitting down. They're going to tell me how to live my day-to-day life. I drink tequila, by God. There ain't nothing alive inside of me. There ain't no germs in here. I don't know. I don't know if I ever had COVID or not. I don't know. Maybe I did. I mean, I felt a little under the weather from time to time. I never lost my sense of taste or smell. But most people who, you got people who've had COVID a couple of times, and then they're supposed to go out there and get the boost and the juice and the boost, and then wear the mask, quarantine, shut down, stay home. They got antibodies, for crying out loud. We know people that's had it 2 or 3 times. We know people that are vaccinated that had it 2 or 3 times. We know that the vaccines don't work. They don't work. They don't work. They don't work like vaccines work. Come on, man. If you told me that I had a tuberculosis vaccine and I get tuberculosis, shit didn't work. Simple as that. If you tell me that I got the herpes vaccine and I'm giving everybody herpes, hey, you never know, Chris. Don't pick them scabs, son. You never know. Come here, baby. Come here, Biscuit. Jump up here, girl. She almost made it. She almost made it on the big step. Hang on. Oh, come here. There she goes, right there. Come on, Biscuit. Biscuit got more common sense than these people running the CDC. It's insanity. Get down there and lay down. Get out of my face. But you think I'm just going to go away and leave it all alone? I'm not. I'm glad you could take your mask off for now on an airplane. But here's the point I want to make. It wasn't because of Joe Biden. It wasn't because Dr. Fauci got on there and said it was safe. No, it was because patriots continued to push back. And finally, a Trump-appointed federal judge said no more. Patriots pushed back, Biscuit. And we got what we got. Folks, at some point in time, we got to remember, pushing back is what matters. These government officials, I don't work for them. I don't serve them. They serve me. We put them there. We pay their salaries. They're there because of us. We live in a world, in America. We just had tax day on Monday. You wrote a big old check to the federal government. It was arbitrary. They just came up with a way to figure out how much damn money you owe them. There's no science behind it. They just came up with a way to deduce all this stuff. Said, okay, here's the arbitrary number that we came up with. You owe us money. You don't get to determine where that money goes, how that money gets spent. So we're already slaves to a system. You go out there, work your ass off, and then going to give 40% of what you worked your ass off to get back to the government so they can pull this kind of BS crap on you, mask you up, shut you down, shut your business down, tell you can't go to work, can't go someplace, can't be somewhere. I'm walking through the airport in Tulsa, Oklahoma the other day, and y'all know my mask, like the mask I use for airplanes, it ain't a mask. It's got all the holes in it. But when you put it on, it's mesh. But when you put it on, you can't tell, right? So I'm like, I'll play your damn game. But walk through the airport, no, I'm not putting it on. Not putting it on. When I get on your airplane, I got to get from point A to point B. That's why I try to fly first class, because boop, there it is right there. I go on with a coffee, sit there and drink the thing the whole damn time. Walked through the airport the other day, the 2 little concierge ladies, they're sitting there at the desk, and she said, need you to put your mask on, sir. And I said, thank you for what you do, but I'm not putting a mask on. I'm in the airport. And she said, you only got 2 more weeks. I said, ma'am, with no disrespect, you probably should stop saying things like that. because it's not true. And she laughed with me. She said, "Oh, it's been a pain." I said, "It is, so stop enforcing it." Stop enforcing it. That's simple. Yeah, call me an asshole. Whatever. You know what? I like trucker treats because I love pretzels. And I like truckers as well. So I'm going to tell you about trucker treats. This is my new favorite thing. You've heard me talk about them before. You've seen me picking my teeth after the break because that's what's in my teeth. I was talking about them before they became a sponsor. I love pretzels. I love these pretzels. Trucker Treats is the nation's best seasoned gourmet pretzel company. They're 100% made in America. Everything, all the seasonings, ingredients, even the packaging and the bags. Trucker Treats is a family business. You got husband Zach. He's our buddy. He's a trucker. He is a faithful listener to this program and this network. They're customer-centered. Thank you, Zach, providing personalized service and the highest quality products. They've developed 6 mouth-watering flavors to choose from. Got the Cool Ranch. That's the original. The Hot Cajun. This is the Cool Ranch right here. Whoo! I got the Hot Cajun down on the floor. They got the bacon cheeseburger, candy cane, which is seasonal, but don't worry, they got a secret stash if you really want it. I'm sure there's a flavor or two for you that you're going to love. New and unique flavors on the horizon. Support our truckers by buying Trucker Treats. They actually support truckers. It's a great snack for the trips you're going to go on this summer down the road. Go to truckertreats.net. Get 40% off. Use promo code CHAD. I spell it Chad. Truckertreats.net. Promo code Chad. We'll be right back. All right, I'm sitting here going through Facebook, finding some pictures. Here's a picture right here, taken from the front of the plane. You can't really see it, but this is a whole big row of people all the way back through the back of the plane, and they're all maskless. They're sitting there, they're smiling, they're happy. You can see their face. Women had to actually do their makeup. Then there's this one douchebag right here with the neck gaiter on up over his face, saving the friggin' world. Saving the friggin' world. Oh, man, oh, man. Chris Cruz sent me a text message, and I want to read it to you. This is from theblaze.com. DeSantis and Florida Republicans moved to strip Disney World of its self-governing powers. They announced that state legislators, this was on Tuesday, will consider repealing special privileges that gave Disney quasi-governmental powers over the area where the Walt Disney World Resort is located. Now, a lot of people don't understand. That's a big place. It's a big swath of land. Sort of like DFW Airport. You know, DFW Airport kind of has its own zip code, right? Because it sits right on the border of Tarrant County, which is Fort Worth, and Dallas County, which is Dallas. And so they kind of just made it their own little city, right? That's why you pay the toll fee every time you go in and off the property there at the DFW Airport. It's kind of quasi-governmental powers there. Well, they're talking about repealing those special privileges right there where the resort is there in Orlando, Florida. I guess that's Kissimmee, St. Cloud. I don't even know. But the governor said in the press conference that when lawmakers meet in special session this week to redraw the state's congressional maps, their agenda will be expanded to consider repealing all special districts enacted before 1968, including the Reedy Creek Improvement District where Walt Disney World is located. I'd love to hear what Glenn has to say on that. Glenn's kind of a history buff when it comes to Disney World and Disneyland and stuff like that. It would strike a blow against Disney after the company inserted itself into political controversy over Florida's parental rights and education law, which bans classroom instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity in K through third grades, restricts such discussion to what state standards determine our age or developmentally appropriate settings. I don't think the law went far enough, honestly, that bill. Why stop at third grade? I mean, they don't need to be discussing it with 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. I don't think they need to be discussing it at all. Did you take sex education? Did you have it? Did you guys have it in school?
I did. I took it in Puerto Rico in a private school run by nuns.
What'd y'all do? Throw a couple chickens out in the yard and watch them go at it?
Actually, their version of sex ed was showing us abortion videos what happens at abortion clinics. That was their version of sex ed.
Okay. Was it accurate?
It was very accurate.
Okay. Was it a deterrent?
Oh, I still see the images of dead babies when I think about sex ed. Every time someone says sex ed, I get like a little bit triggered because I'm like, oh, dead babies.
That's a powerful deterrent. Weird stuff going on at your house. Can we play that clip? We're off the rails, so let's just go wherever I want to go. Play that clip of Kamala and her mispronunciation.
I've met with leaders from around the world, countries like Singapore and France, Bahrain and India.
Bahrain? I think you meant Bahrain, sister. Bahrain? You done messed up, Bahrain. Wow. D-Nice. Listen to me, D-Nice and Bahrain. We're not dealing with the tippy top of the spear there when it comes to intelligentsia. I had somebody the other day that said they were impressed that I even knew what Mensa was. I love when people call me stupid. But then I was reading an interesting article this week. This is stuff we didn't get to throughout the week. So our Border Patrol agent friend down in Del Rio, Texas, who was apparently whipping Haitians from the back of a horse. The media went crazy on all that stuff because there's a white man whipping a black man. He wasn't, by the way. We all said early on, even when the cartels were putting a price on his head. Thankfully, when I was reading the articles, they don't mention his name, which is good. Because people are still stupid. Even though they came out and they said he's completely innocent of those charges. Good horsemanship, by the way, using split reins there. He was actually in great control of the horse. Of course, this resulted in the Biden administration the Border Patrol pulling all horse-mounted patrols off of the border, which is actually a great way to police that area there in Del Rio. But Jen Psaki simply refuses to apologize for their claims. Play that clip.
We've been told that the mounted Border Patrol officers the president accused of whipping migrants have been notified they will not face criminal charges. So when is the president going to apologize to them?
There is a process and an investigation that's gone through the Department of Homeland Security. I don't have any update on that.
The president said that they were whipping people, which would be a criminal offense, and they've been told they're not going to be criminally charged.
And there was an investigation into that, and I'll let the Department of Homeland Security announce any conclusion of that investigation.
You accuse these officers of brutal and inappropriate measures. Now that they've been told they will not be criminally charged, will you apologize?
And Peter, there was an investigation into their behavior, so that investigation is playing out. Whenever it's going to be announced, the Department of Homeland Security will announce that, and I'm sure we'll have a comment on it after that.
But I bet it won't be an apology, will it, Jenny? They're totally getting it on. Jen and Peter. Peter and Jen. That would make a good movie, by the way. Little love interest, little conflict of interest with a love interest. I like it. They're not going to apologize because they don't do that. That's not what they do. Which, again, I don't think the apology thing. Now, here, I'm not one of those guys that's always crying out for somebody to apologize. What I want you to do is choose your words more wisely before you jump to judgment in the first place. So, they very well could have gotten this young man killed. They could have gotten him killed. There could have been some vigilante justice. I mean, we talk about this kind of stuff. No, this is a little more serious than them making a meme of Donald Trump body slamming CNN. You remember that meme where he's doing the wrestling thing and he got the CNN graphic over the deal and they're like, oh, this is the president. He's going to be promoting violence against reporters. No, when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris came out and actually condemned what was going on, it this racially tense culture we have created, thank you, Barack Obama, in the United States of America. This is potentially very deadly and very dangerous, especially when, once again, as we said, the cartels are placing prices on the gentleman's head for doing his job. Meanwhile, we know Title 42 being pulled away. We know that we're going to see more and more illegals coming across the border. I was just at an event the other night. My friend Ben Berkwam with Real America's Voice. He showed me several passports. They were Senegalese. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but Senegal is not south of our border, okay? But there were several passports that had been dropped that were all Senegalese that had come across. Folks, let me tell you what's up. Let me tell you what's up, okay? This is no longer about what nationality's coming across, whether they're coming for amnesty, whether they're coming for refugee status, whether they're trying to be citizens, whatever. This is about death at this point. What's happening at the southern border, we could talk about these mean old Border Patrol agents whipping people, which obviously they weren't, and now they've been, they've been proven innocent of these charges. But it's about death now, because now it's about fentanyl coming across the border. And it has been. But now let's start talking about why we got to shut this border down. This ain't about people's skin color. This is not about where they came from. It's never been about that shit anyway. But this is about enough fentanyl to kill the entire population of the United States coming across the border just in the last month or so. That's every man, woman, and child in America. That's enough fentanyl to come across. There's been enough fentanyl confiscated just recently that would kill 800,000 people. That's the entire population of Collin County, Texas, which is north of Dallas. All right? That's just been confiscated recently well into the interior of Texas. There's enough fentanyl that came across the border in the last 12 months that would kill 2.8 billion people. That's over a third of the global population. That's what's coming across. This is an act of war. This is an invasion. This is a bioterrorist act on the part of China, because that's where the fentanyl comes from. It's being brought in through the cartels. So this is actually an act of war. I've said that throughout the campaign. I said it whenever, I had an opportunity to stop people. We got to shut this border situation down. I don't care if Jen Psaki apologizes or Joe Biden apologizes. What I want them to do is stop doing dumb shit in the first place. So stop putting a slap on the hand, dropping Title 42, doing all of these kind of things in order to open the borders wide up so that somebody comes over here and they just claim amnesty and they're here. I mean, that's it. They're done. They're in the country. That's the deal. I don't want them bust to Washington, D.C. I want the border shut down. This is about death, folks. If you knew how many young people are dying in Collin County, if I told you the number, you wouldn't believe me. How many just in the recent months? How many have died in just North Dallas alone? Texas. From fentanyl overdoses, from taking, off the street Adderall or whatever it is they're doing. They're taking this stuff and they're dying by the tens of thousands. This could be your kids. It could be your kids. And you know what? Fentanyl don't give a shit who you voted for. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, Republican, whether you believe in small government, big government, whether you believe in people coming across the border, open borders and closed borders. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's here. It's here. So you need to talk to your kids about it, even if you don't even think your kids are involved in that. It's here. And they can put that stuff in a lot of different things, folks. I'm not trying to fear-monger you. I just want you to be responsible, because that's what's up. I like knowing exactly where my meat comes from, sort of like my drugs, right, Chris? Yeah? Yeah, I like knowing exactly where my meat comes from. And with Moink, that place is from small family farms all across the country. Help save the family farm. Get access to the highest quality meat on earth when you join the Moink movement today. Moink delivers grass-fed, grass-finished beef and lamb, pastured pork and chicken, and sustainable wild-caught Alaskan salmon straight to your door. Moink farmers farm like our grandparents did, and as a result, Moink meat tastes like it should, because the family farm does it better. The Moink difference is a difference you can taste, and you can feel good knowing you're helping family farms stay financially independent, too. You choose the meat delivered in every box, like ribeyes to chicken breast to pork chops, salmon fillets, whole lot more. Plus, you can cancel anytime. Keep American farming going by signing up at moinkbox.com/Chad right now. Listeners of this show, you're going to get that free filet mignon in every order for a year. That's 1 year of the best filet mignon you'll ever taste, but for a limited time. Spelled Moink, M-O-I-N-K, box.com/Chad. That's moinkbox.com/Chad. Be right back. Welcome back. Hey, I want you to go on a flight of the imagination with me for just a moment. Be warned, we're heading to the red light district of your psyche for just a minute. Don't be afraid to explore a bit, but keep your hands and feet inside the ride at all times so as to not catch any STDs. Here we go. I want you to picture thigh-high red fishnet stockings above a pair of shiny black stiletto heels. Maybe those fishnets have got a little tear in them here and there. Above that, a silky black thong so barely there it almost doesn't count. Above that, a black stringy bra so tiny it makes the thong look like a boat sail. You got everything in your mind so far? Good. Because above that is a grizzled and bearded face of a long-haul trucker on about his fifth or sixth straight night of sleeping in the back of his rig. His scent is ode to chewing tobacco, and his pronouns are get, over, and here. Yes, folks, it's hazy and sulfur-smelling fast times in the latter days upon which we uneasily rest our collective moralistic laurels. If you just choked on your Mountain Dew the way I did the first time I read about today's topic, you have my apologies, but at least you can't say you weren't warned. Lingerie for men. Let's talk about it. This latest left-leaning gender bend is, of course, framed by its supporters as the newest and bestest in inclusivity. Straight from the fraught pages of the New York Times, a newspaper with which the best thing you could do is rest it firmly between your butt cheeks for one reason or another, comes the story of undergarments that are more gender expansive than a jockstrap. The goal, of course, is to frolic among the leaves of the modern word salad, tripping the light fantastic across ideas such as body positivity and sex positivity. Why can't we all just revel in the destruction of gender separation as we know it? Why not ring in a new era in which human beings are free to fluidly roam from moment to moment, inhabiting the amorphous phantasms of gender created and varied by their feelings? Why not, you might suggest, topple that old dominant paradigm in favor of a new one? Because, of course, that's what this is. Sure, there are a fair number of fellas out there whose delight it is to live in the land of make-believe and play dress-up. It's brash, it's rebellious, it's what their old fogey parents would hate. But what hides behind that is a leftist mindset, a deeper motive that underpins and frames the social construct upon which these notions lie. Don't kid yourself, folks. Once again, we're seeing another facet of an ideology which cares absolutely not a damn bit about the human beings it sacrifices on the altar of eternal change toward an ever-fleeing utopia. But hey, who am I to judge what you do? If you're a man and you want to feel like a natural woman, and if wearing de jure is the only way you can accomplish that, then power to you, my friend. Power to you. Hell, I think it'd be funny to have some of that merch in my store, Chris. Maybe a teddy for Teddy, something like that. Folks, it's a mad world, and we got to live it right alongside these crazy weirdos, and that's okay as long as we don't lose perspective the same way they're doing. Just keep your wits about you and always check for a wiener, and you'll be okay. At least until all hell breaks loose, which is probably coming sooner rather than later. Chris, we've got to get some of this. We've got to get some of this lingerie. This de jure, if you will. Oh, yeah. They're doing that. Look at the legs. Look at the gams on that guy. Look at the calves on that cat right there. That's a straight. Is that Colin Kaepernick? It looks like he's taking a knee. And he's got the fro. Now we know why he couldn't throw a friggin' football. Now I know why he got sidelined. Yeah. Hard to throw a football when you're dicking your ass. Oh. Cori Bush. She hates the police. She wants to defund the police. You know, when I start thinking about things up your ass, I immediately think about Cori Bush. Her campaign is spending a lot of money on security, even though she wants to defund the police. The Federal Election Commission, the FEC filings indicate that Bush's campaign shelled out $70,489 for security services during the period between January 1 and March 31st. That's 3 months for those of you doing the math. That's 2021, her campaign spent over $233,000, $663 for security services. I mean, defund the police, but you got to have your own security. You do. Yeah. You got to have somebody watching your back. You do. And listen, listen, you want to hire security, I go some places with security. You know, my boy James is out there watching, waiting, wanting, looking for you to act your ass up one time. James, I tell James sometimes, I'm like, just chill, dude. Just chill. They're just having dinner over there. He's like, I don't like that look on his face. Anyway, she's had some stuff that's come, like Bush's, her car was hit by gunfire earlier this year. She wasn't in the vehicle. But, you know, we don't need stuff like that going on. And also their office also noted they did not think that her vehicle was targeted purposefully. Yeah, that's what happens when you're driving around some of these cities. Anyway, so the hypocrisy lives on, folks. It lives on. Oh, boy, howdy. I like these guys cringing at the pump to getting an eye-popping check at your favorite restaurant. Inflation. It's hitting us where it hurts, right in the wallet. And, yeah, anyway, it makes your masculinity just kind of shrivel right up. It really hurts. And that's why I started using a company called Get Upside. Get Upside is an incredible app for anyone who buys gas, groceries, you dine out. With every purchase, you're going to earn cash back thanks to Get Upside. You download the free Get Upside app in the App Store, the Google Play, whatever. Use my promo code CHAD, I spell it Chad. Get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. Next, you claim an offer for whatever you're buying on Get Upside. The check-in at the business, pay as usual with a credit or debit card and get paid. Now, in comparison to credit card rewards or loyalty programs, you can earn 3 times more cash back with Get Upside. You can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or e-gift card for Amazon and other brands, whatever you want to do. But Get Upside users are earning more than $1 million every week. That's probably why they have a 4.8 star rating on the App Store. So download the free Get Upside app. Use promo code CHAD, I spell it Chad. Get $5 or more cash back on your very first purchase of $10 or more. That's $5 or more cash back on your purchase of $10 or more using promo code Chad. GetUpside.com. Use them. They're great. We'll be right back. I was just reading this story somebody sent me on Twitter from the Stu Peters show. And, I tweeted yesterday about, or Tuesday, I think it was, I tweeted about, it's amazing that now that the mandates have been lifted, that airplanes aren't just falling out of the sky. And, but Stu Peters had a guy on, Josh Yoder, talking about there was a vaxxed pilot that went into cardiac arrest in the cockpit. Thankfully, they weren't airborne. They weren't in the air. 200 people on the plane. You know what nobody's talking about, Chris, is how many professional soccer players have died. Just, boom, dropping dead. First of all, Peter McCullough, we did an event together. Peter McCullough, he's a world-renowned cardiac, surgeon and cardiovascular surgeon out of Dallas. And, somebody brought up, my friend got taken off the heart transplant list because he won't get vaccinated. And he said, why would you do that? It already weakens your heart. So why would you weaken a heart that you are having transplanted? Probably not going to make it to the surgery if you do that. Well, soccer players, they have an enlarged heart because it's a bigger muscle. They've been running all over the field their entire life. So they already have a weakened condition in that regard. You start adding the juice, bam. Scary stuff, man. We didn't get to yesterday's TikTok. Do we want to try to fit 2 real quick? Maybe we should. I'll use your executive decision. Show me what you want me to see. Let's do it.
It's a they. Euphoria of the day. I got my gender-affirming driver's license. Woohoo! I'm opening it up for the first time, and I recognize how privileged I am to live in a state that will let me do this and be one of the first people to have it. I'm trying so hard not to show any of the important information that somebody could steal my identity with. So if you'll see, there's a little X next to the sex or my gender. And for me, the X, it doesn't mean non-binary. It just means freedom to be whoever I want to be. And
freedom to figure out who that is and what gender they are. And I feel like I look really pretty. Look how happy I look.
This feels like a sign that we are headed in the right direction, and I'm just so happy, and I love you all so much.
Well, I read enough of that driver's license to know that your first name is Dylan.
And Chad.
Congratulations, but if you come at me, I'm still kicking you in the balls. What?
So, backstory. This person just started identifying as a female 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And this person has been TikToking her journey as going into female bathrooms, going to an all yoga female studio, and crying because she got bullied because she used the word "I'm a girl" instead of "I'm a woman."
Okay. Well, I know that they said, she said, whatever, that she wanted to cover up all of the information where somebody could steal her identity. Honey, you don't have one. Like you just said, you're trying to figure it out. So the details on your card apparently don't matter. You're glorifying something that gives you an identity, but you're sitting there telling us that you don't have an identity and you're trying to figure it out. So, I mean, see, this is where philosophically I start getting bent in the head a little bit. And this thing starts to break down. This is like when an atheist tries to debate me and say there's no God, but then uses my language of a moralistic worldview. It just starts to get turned in on itself too much. Look, more power to you. I hope you figure out whatever it is you're trying to figure out. I just know that last night I went to a restaurant and a lady walked in the bathroom beside me or right after me, and then stood at the urinal and pissed right next to me. I'm not a modest person overall, so I don't really care. But I was like, I thought this is kind of funny. This is kind of interesting. Here's a dude who wants to be a woman. I don't know if he's truly trans or just pretending to be a woman, dressing up. I don't know. Had a nice manicure. I didn't look while they were in the urinal. I saw them when they were washing their hands afterwards. So at least they did exercise good hygiene. I just noticed the manicure on the dude, red fingernail polish. But he was dressed like a woman, whatever, and he was peed standing up, which is, I would assume, hard to do in a skirt. I don't know how you do all this stuff. But it's like I didn't freak out. I didn't lose my mind. I'm not over this. I feel sorry for these people. I really do, because philosophically, it's a dead end road. It's a house of cards. It's not going to stand. And I'm praying for you. That's all I can tell you. I don't have it all figured out either. So pray for me too. We'll be right back. Almost. Hey, great new restaurant in Montgomery, Texas, Conroe Lake House, right there on the lake. This week, my buddy Charlie Diggs, he's promoting a show. They got the Lake Fest happening this Saturday. I'm going to go hang out over there, kind of prep for the following week when I'm doing the show at Do-Si-Do. Our buddy Scooter Brown's going to be there. Jason Cassidy, Saliva, they're going to be there. All my buddies are going to be there playing some good music out on the lake. Hey, if you want to come hang out Saturday afternoon, come hang out with us, Conroe Lake House. I'm not on the show. I'm just going to hang out. But I do want you to go to watchchad.com where all the fun stuff is. And don't forget to subscribe to Blaze using the new promo code CHAD. Have a great weekend. Don't forget overtime this weekend. Don't miss it. We love you. God bless you. Talk to you then. Bye.